everyone, it's Ray with Tarot Living. So this is another installment of our interpretive readings for the court cards. So if you are wanting to know more about the astrological attributions of the court cards, I've got 3 or 4 videos that you can go and watch as well. So let's talk first. Today we're actually going to focus on the Queen of Cups, which is ruled by the sign of Cancer. Astrologically, according to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which is the system I'm using. So let's talk about Cancer first. Cancer is a water sign astrologically, and it's what we call cardinal. So they have lots of initiative, like to start projects, have that sort of leadership skill. But they are a water sign, and so they tend to be quite intuitive and maternal and domestic and sensitive, as well as being, driven at times and tenacious. They certainly have that emotional element of being empathetic and sympathetic as well when need be, and using the intuition quite a bit. So that is Cancer in general. So if we look at the Queen of Cups, which is the card on the left-hand side, the Queen of Cups is ruled by Cancer, and so some of the keywords for the Queen of Cups are she has a lot of emotion, sensitivity, kindness and empathy, affectionate, imaginative, creative and receptive, and certainly a mother figure. So one of the other things about Queen of Cups is that she tends to be very nurturing, likes to take care of self and others. And she is in touch with her emotions. So she's really kind of a master of the world of emotions in the tarot. So in terms of the court cards. And she's certainly the more emotional queen of all of the queens. Can be quite intuitive and even psychic, devoted wife and mother. And can be, overly sensitive or, moody at times. So sometimes that emotion can get the best of her and be overly emotional. So those are some of the characteristics of Cancer and the Queen of Cups, and you can certainly see the relationship between the two. If I'm giving you the keywords for Cancer and the keywords for Queen of Cups, you can see certainly there is a relationship there. In terms of time frame, you can just use the typical time frame of Cancer, which is around June 21st to July 22nd. That's kind of the typical, sun sign astrology. But the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn does have the court cards overlapping the previous sign by a little tiny bit, and so the exact duration is more like June 12th to July 12th, according to the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. But as I've said in other videos, if you're just starting out and you just want a basic time frame and you're using the court cards for a time frame, I would just use the Cancer time frame, which I've already mentioned. Okay, so let's do some interpretation. These cards were randomly pulled, 100% randomly pulled, and I was so fascinated by what was pulled, and I'll show you shortly why, and also I'm going to show you how the High Priestess is astrologically related to the Queen of Cups, and that was just really a fluke that came up. So let's talk about the Queen of Cups. So we've got her on the left-hand side. So typically court cards can mean a variety of things in a reading. They can certainly represent the internal motivations or characteristics or traits that the querent or the client has that they are holding or that they need to utilize in a situation or get in touch with. And so that's more of an internally driven situation. Second one is external, where that Queen of Cups represents somebody else in the querent's life. And then the third one can be an event. Sometimes the court cards, especially pages and knights, can represent an event. In this case, let's use the Queen of Cups as an internal motivation. And the main reason I'm going to do that is because she is so internalized that it really lends itself to that kind of a reading. So we'll do that for this one, and then other ones I'm going to do something different. So the Queen of Cups, certainly if it comes up in a reading or if you're using it as a significator card, it is going to represent that querent or that client of yours is needing to perhaps utilize those emotional, intuitive, nurturing, and maternal characteristics. So those are some of the characteristics, and we've gone through them very well already. So let's say that the person is certainly, on this path, or they need to utilize those characteristics, and they're in a situation, and you can advise them. these are the characteristics that are coming up. These are the things that I think are representing you, or these are the characteristics that you're needing to get in touch with. And then we have a minor arcana that's pulled, and the minor arcana is really showing something so very different than the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess. So we have quite a difference in opposition going on here, or what I would actually rather call a tension. So you often see tension and what I call tension and release in card readings. So Five of Wands is a card that's actually ruled by Saturn. So it's Saturn in Leo. And this particular card is really, you can see the five people are fighting and duking it out. And it can really be about sparring. It can be about differing opinions. It can be about different motivations. Like Wand is always about the energy, fire, and passion you have within. So let's say this guy wants to do something one way. This guy has another idea and another passion. This one has another one. And so it could be just differing drives and motivations that are moving people toward disparity or disharmony, I guess you could say. So, but it can be positive at times where it's more like a debate, where I learn from you, you learn from me, but sometimes in order to get to that place, we have to go through a little bit of a struggle. So this card definitely can represent some type of struggle, some type of strife, something that is unsettled and something that is not in harmony in this person's life. So imagine the Queen of Cups. She's sitting there saying, I'm all about emotion. I'm all about nurturing others. Certainly she likes to be in harmony. That's probably, really her natural state. And then she's faced with the Five of Wands with all this fire energy. And fire and water, don't get along. Water puts out fire or wants to put out fire. And fire energy in this particular Five of Wands is really suggesting that there's some kind of strife. And the Queen of Cups is not going to respond very well to that. So she's going to have to obviously make some kind of considerations. She's going to have to reconcile this in some way. And then the High Priestess comes along, and the High Priestess is actually also lays in the Cancer realm. So she's actually ruled by the moon, and the moon rules Cancer. So these two cards actually sit in the same spot astrologically, which relates to moon and Cancer. So the High Priestess comes along and says, well, you know what? I'm going to teach you here about stillness and wisdom and calmness. And so you need to go within. And so this reading, if this came up, I would be telling somebody that really these characteristics of the Queen of Cups are really needing to be tuned into. So I would ask this person to really get in touch with some of those Queen of Cups characteristics. And this person is being challenged. There is a challenge here, not only based on the characteristics that they would normally be utilizing, which are, harmony, intuition, emotion, and emotional connection to others. So not only is it not in harmony with that, but there could be something externally going on that is making this very internal person having to come out and figure out how to deal with this external strife. So the High Priestess is suggesting, you know what? Sometimes there are oppositions. As these two pillars are representing really an opposition. Different sides, light and dark, whatever opposition means to you. This is representing opposition. I'm opposing you, you're opposing me. We might be able to come out okay in the end, but there's opposition. There's some kind of strife and opposition. So the High Priestess teaches us how to reconcile opposition, how to reconcile duality. And she's very much about going within. Internalizing, or not internalizing, but going within internally in order to find truth and wisdom for yourself, to use your intuition, to use your inner guidance system. She's very spiritual, and she's really representing that veil between the physical world and the spiritual world. And so behind that veil is all of this wisdom. And she's saying, if you stay still, if you meditate, if you go within, if you use your intuition, you will know what to do in this situation. You will know how to reconcile these oppositions, these the strife around you, any kind of struggle that's around you. You will, within, you will be able to find the answer. And it's really, the key is, I think, intuition and internal process and internal workings. So these two cards are almost like bookends on this strife, and these bookends relate astrologically to the sign of Cancer. And it doesn't mean, Cancer is sometimes underestimated, I think I would probably say. Cancer is a water sign, and they are very sensitive, but it is cardinal, as I said at the beginning of the video, and cardinal signs are really very driven. So they want to follow what they feel. They want to be driven by their passions about their emotional connections to things. They have an inner guidance system that is very, very big in their life, and they will follow it. So these two bookends are really showing this person, you know what, you're better off if you go within and deal with these types of struggles or strife with finding your own internal wisdom. So that's the way I would interpret those cards. So I hope you found this helpful. Do subscribe. On the right-hand side, you'll see a picture of me. So just put your cursor over that and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to give me a like. Thanks for watching Tarot Living. Take care.